Dear viewers, welcome to a new episode of Diet Myths, and today we're talking about a nutrition quiz. This episode is dedicated to really evaluate your knowledge in nutrition, and it will attest for you if you've been following us for many episodes or all episodes, and I hope by the end of this episode you will be able to score 100%, and if you are a loyal follower you will get this mark. If not, if you've seen some, you'll be able to have some answers, and if you are a new customer, a new follower, welcome to our show, and we hope we'll give you some answers for the questions we'll ask today. The first question I choose is, at least half of the grains you eat should be whole grains. A perfect example of a whole grain is white rice, white bread, popcorn, or sugary drinks. Think about it. Okay, the correct answer, surprisingly, believe it or not, is popcorn. Popcorn is considered a whole grain because it uses the grain, all parts of the grain, and it's considered a great snack if you wish to snack on something while watching TV. It's definitely better than biscuits, it's definitely better than sugary drinks and chocolates you may choose to have. So popcorn is a whole grain, and we wish that you start snacking on something healthy. My second question would be, you can get this vitamin from some foods, but your best bet is to get it from the sun. So which vitamin is it? Vitamin E, vitamin B, vitamin D, or vitamin C? Think about it. Okay, the answer, unfortunately, very few foods are natural sources of vitamin D. So the answer is vitamin D. Your best bet is getting it from the sun, You may get it from some foods like, for example, shiitake mushrooms and salmon, or some fortified food items like fortified milk. But if you go out a little bit in the sun, you'll guarantee to have enough vitamin D synthesized.
Have you ever wondered why we are seeing dramatic increases in health problems since our great-grandparents' time? 100 years ago, people mainly lived and worked outdoors. Many were farmers. Clothes were hung outside to dry. Children played outdoors. Almost everyone spent most of their day outdoors. They rode horses. But now things have changed. Most of us work and play indoors, where we have air conditioning. We work more on computers than on farms. We wash and dry our clothes indoors. We watch TV and surf the internet and play video games. We ride in air-conditioned autos and airplanes and trucks. We even swim indoors. So what does all this indoor activity mean? Less sun. Could less sun be associated with more disease? Let's find out. From sunlight, our skin makes a vital substance, vitamin D. Vitamin D, which is actually a hormone rather than a vitamin, has a major impact on our bodies. It increases activation in more than 2,000 genes. This increased gene activation allows the body to combat disease. In fact, over 5,000 scientific studies have shown the clear association of vitamin D deficiency with more than 100 diseases and health problems, most of which have seen dramatic increases over the past 50 years. These include some of the big ones: cancer, diabetes, osteoporosis, Alzheimer's, multiple sclerosis, obesity, and heart disease. Even rickets, which supposedly had gone away 80 years ago, has reappeared. Are you at risk for these diseases? Do you get enough vitamin D? Probably not. More than 9 out of 10 people worldwide don't get enough vitamin D. Ask yourself, do you spend a lot of time indoors? Do you wear sunscreen or protective clothing when you go outdoors? Many people think that 10 minutes outdoors is enough to get all the vitamin D they need from the sun. But the fact is, for most people, that unless you spend a fair amount of time outdoors every day in full sun with minimal clothing and no sunscreen, you aren't getting enough vitamin D to protect against disease. You need to stay in the sun for 3 hours if you are standing up in a short-sleeved shirt, 20 minutes if you are lying down in a bathing suit. Even food no longer provides as much vitamin D as it did 100 years ago. For example, in 1900, pie crust was made with lard from pigs raised outdoors. Back then, just one piece of a double crust pie provided 2,000 international units of vitamin D. Today, pie crust is made from vegetable oil or shortening. How much vitamin D? 0. The good news is you don't need sunlight or lard from pigs raised outdoors in order to get your vitamin D. A simple supplement can provide all you need to prevent or even treat serious disease. But how do you find out if you have enough vitamin D? You can, of course, have a blood test. A reading of at least 40 nanograms per milliliter or 100 nanomoles per liter is optimal. Or you can do a quick, easy test on yourself. Just press hard on each of your shin bones, and then on your sternum, the bone in your chest between your lowest ribs. Did at least 2 of them hurt? Sore bones is an indication that you are probably very deficient. So, let's say you are deficient. This is very likely if you have a major disease or are elderly, have had recent surgery or illness, or you are pregnant. A breastfed infant would also be at risk. How much vitamin D should you take? This, of course, would depend on your individual situation, but many studies indicate that 4,000 international units daily is necessary to bring the average adult up to 40 nanograms and maintain this healthy level. If you know you are at risk for being deficient, you might want to start with a larger dose. You may also want to take more than 4,000 international units of vitamin D daily if you are elderly, obese, or plan soon to get pregnant or have surgery. You should start feeling noticeably healthier and more energetic within a few days to weeks. Are people starting to notice the benefits of vitamin D? You bet. When one doctor raised all of his patients' levels to 80 nanograms or 200 nanomoles, he noticed that no matter their age or health condition, their average of 4 office visits per year dropped down to 1 visit. More and more people are getting vitamin D tests, a 10 times increase in just 3 years. And research on vitamin D has accelerated. More research has been done on vitamin D than on vitamin A, C, E, and K combined. So, if you want to feel better or get or stay healthy, taking a vitamin D supplement is probably the single best thing you can do for your body. And it won't cost you a trip to Hawaii. Do yourself a favor. Read the studies if you need more proof. Then try it.
My third question would be, your body needs both fats, soluble fats, and water-soluble fats. Which one of the following is a water-soluble fat? Is it vitamin C, vitamin D, vitamin K, or vitamin E? Okay, the answer is vitamin C. This is the water-soluble vitamin. A little trick: if you memorize the acronym ADEK, A-D-E-K, these are the fat-soluble vitamins. Anything else would be a water-soluble vitamin. Please stay tuned for more questions, and short quiz, and the answers in the coming segments. Dear viewers, welcome to the second segment of our episode Diet Myths, and we are following a nutrition quiz. Are you ready for the second batch of questions? Okay. Pay attention. The fourth question is, your brain really wants to use this macronutrient for energy. It's the preferred energy source for your brain. So which one of these nutrients is the one in question? Proteins, carbohydrates, fats, or fiber? Protein, carbohydrates, fat, or fiber? Well, we always think of carbohydrates as the bad guy because it gives us sugar, it may add to our waistline, it will make us put on weight. But again, believe it or not, the brain prefers carbohydrate as the best source of energy. It needs the glucose specifically as the best source of energy. So make sure you eat some carbs and don't go on no carb diet. Perhaps low carb may work, but no carb is a no-no. The fifth question would be about proteins. So let's talk about proteins. Not all vegetarian proteins are complete sources of protein by themselves, but this one is. So I'm going to mention 4 food items, and you have to think of the one which is complete protein source. So is it nuts and seeds? Are they legumes? Are they vegetables? Or the quinoa seed or the quinoa grain? Okay, the correct answer is quinoa. Quinoa is a grain used in South America, and now it's becoming very popular in our part of the world. It contains all the essential amino acids. That's why it's the only source with complete proteins compared to the other food items I've mentioned before. You can have them in salads, you can have them instead of fries, and you can have them even sometimes in desserts. It's easy to use quinoa, and it's easy to prepare quinoa, yet it's a complete source of protein if you wish to have all the amino acids in your diet. One more question? Okay. Don't stress as much about eating fats, because people worry about fats again because they think they will give them extra calories, which is true, and they avoid having fat because they don't want these calories. Now, we have a kind of fats called omega-3 that is very important for our health. And you can get omega-3 from either whole grain, fish and seafood, vegetables, or red meat. So which is the better source? It may be there in different food items, but one of these is the better source of omega-3. Got it? Well, omega-3 is rich in seafood and fish, especially salmon and tuna fish. They're rich in omega-3. You may have them from some vegetarian sources as well. And omega-3 is good for your heart, is good for your mood, is good for your blood pressure. So make sure that you have omega-3 in your diet. Please stay tuned. There are more questions you will be quizzed at shortly. Dear viewers, welcome to the last segment of our episode Diet Myths, and today we have this nutrition quiz that will really evaluate your knowledge in what you have seen earlier in our episodes, and will give you some more to know if you haven't been watching us before. So my 7th question would be about red meat, and beans have plenty of this nutrient. So the food sources are red beans and meat, which helps red blood cells carry oxygen. So it's a nutrient available in these food items, and it helps blood cells to carry oxygen. Is this nutrient iodine, iron, magnesium, or chromium? This may be an easy question, right? Well, I guess you all know it by now that it is iron. Always think of hemoglobin, which are the red blood cells that carry oxygen and nutrients to different parts of our body. And hemoglobin comes from the word globulin, which is a protein, and heme, which is iron. So that's why iron is the nutrient in question. Make sure you have iron by consuming red meat and consuming red beans, and this will help you really have enough oxygen and nutrients and concentrate better. Make sure your kids have a source of protein in their breakfast for better concentration at school. One more question. At least half of your plate should be filled with either fruits and veggies, dairy products, protein, or grains. I guess even if you ask your children, they'll have the right answer. If you follow the plate method, you would know that half your plate should come from vegetables and fruits. So I guess you guessed it right. There's nothing healthier than having vegetables and fruits in each meal. So either have half the plate of vegetables and then have a fruit as a snack, or a combination of both. You can have salads prepared of vegetables and fruit together. Try always to remember to have a rainbow of colors, to have all the fiber, all the nutrients, all the minerals, all the vitamins, and the packed health benefits in a plate of salad. You should be having a cup or more per day. The 9th question would be, you should get plenty of this nutrient even though it's not digested or absorbed. So is it protein, carbohydrate, fat, or fiber? We've dedicated many episodes to talk about fiber, whether soluble or insoluble. So the answer is fiber, because it gives you a lot of health benefits, yet it does not contribute to any of the calories in your diet. I guess, and I hope you've scored 100% on our quiz, and now you have all the answers. Please incorporate this knowledge into your meal plan, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and live happily ever after.